Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode. How many videos have I made today? At least all of today's videos are legitimate videos, not just babbling on. Okay, I have a question. This goes out to everybody at Cop Block, Free Antonio Bueller, etc. Is there any evidence that trials... Now, first of all, a lot of police that commit crimes, there are never any charges filed. But occasionally there are. Not often, but occasionally there are. My question is there any evidence of, I don't know how to say, bribing the jury? And bribing the jury doesn't necessarily mean you give them money. It could be threats. Direct threats or indirect threats. You know, like there's a juror sitting over there and there's a cop or anybody. Yeah, I guess that person's not going to want to get any traffic tickets or parking tickets or pulled over for something. You know what I'm saying? It can just be said in passing. They understand what's being said. They know. Is there evidence of this? Because let me tell you about a case that I happen to know about because I knew somebody that was directly involved with it. And I think I've talked about this before. There was a case in San Antonio some years back, and there's a memorial page for one of the two people killed. Now, I'm not saying that either one of these kids were good kids. They weren't. They were punks. But that doesn't mean they should have been murdered the way they were.
Well, let's just say you have been charged with murder.
There was a cop off duty. I think he's still on the force. He was a detective, I believe. And he and his son laid in wait on top of their house, I think on top of the garage, waiting for these two punk kids to come by to possibly damage a vehicle. They ran, the two kids ran, and they were shot in the back, and they were killed right there in the street. The way you would shoot a rabid dog. The family had to sit through watching the coroner there, pressing down on the heads and, doing all sorts of stuff. And it's illegal to lay in wait. That's numero uno. Numero dos, they were shot in the back. Shot in the back. They were running away and they were shot in the back. Only a coward would do that. I mean, why, when there is a trial, do cops more often than not get off scot-free? I don't understand. Why do they get off scot-free?
Because they're a cop.
Yeah, but I mean,
special privileges,
are the jurors intimidated? Are they bribed? Or does the prosecution somehow convince, or the defense, I should say, and usually even the prosecution being the district attorney is probably not going to really push too hard to get the cops. And the defense is probably going to try and make the cops sound like they're something they're not, trying to make them sound like good guys to the jury. I mean, what's going on? Why do they more often than not get off? I mean, why do juries say not guilty when they're obviously guilty? I mean, you just look at the video of their guilt. There's a video on here, I think, I don't know if it's Dave Ridley or not, of a cop kicking in somebody's car door and then turning around and saying, "Oh, I didn't do it," even though there's video of him doing it. How do they get away with this? How do juries? Why do juries say not guilty when the cop is obviously guilty? And that cop in San Antonio, he got off scot-free. Yes, he was charged, but he got off scot-free. What's going on with the juries here? Are they intimidated? Are they bribed? Does the prosecution just not really go after? They're cops, and the cops and the prosecutor are on the same side. So, sometimes they're friends. Many times they are friends or acquaintances anyway. What's going on?